All right, YouTube, hello. It's time to do the Siege Tournament Season 6 Finals. Say Swag again versus Apocalypse. Let's just get started, I guess. So up first, and we'll pause real quick and take a look at the runes. We've got Tractor Lulu Windy here versus Nana Ken Savannah. So Nana Ken Savannah is a defense that Apocalypse used in the semifinals against Mithril, and it did really well for them. So I tested against it literally more than 100 times the Friday before the finals. I tried Tractor Lulu Windy, I tried Tractor Lala Windy, I also tried a little bit of Tractor Harmonia Windy, just because the Tractor Windy team seemed like they were doing pretty well. I ended up mostly testing Lulu and Lala, the red Lulu, and against my guildie's copies of the defense, this offense was 90%. It was 45-5 in both cases, both with Lulu and Lala. So both good here. Here's the runes I'm using. The Tractor artifact is the wind reduction artifact. When I'm fighting Savannahs, I'm using this artifact. The Lulu runes aren't actually accurate because I did have two sets of Lulu runes for the finals. The set you can see here is the one that I used against the Twins defenses with max resistance. Against the Nana teams, I don't believe in resistance because it's a 55 accuracy leader and you're not going to resist anything anyway. So I had a second set of Lulu runes that was like 40 less resistance and a bit more HP and defense. I don't have those builds saved anymore, so I can't exactly recreate it for you. But just imagine like 40 less resistance and a bit more HP and defense, but like not that much more. I don't think resistance is helpful against Nana leader. So let's get into the fight here. Mainly, I think you were trying to kill the Ken first in most cases here, just because the Ken gets pretty annoying. Always pay attention and kind of see where the damage is coming from on your team. You're super worried about your Lulu getting defense broken and killed by Savannah, so always be mindful of that. But like, if you can see that the... Okay, so there I actually use Tractor Skill 2 on purpose in a lot of these fights. Maybe not a lot of them, but sometimes. I think it actually does help for when you're trying to keep your Lulu or your Windy alive. So right there, I didn't want to take any more damage on my Windy that had Brand on it. It was below half health and his Savannah was about to move. So I do use Skill 2 with my Tractor. It seems like I've changed my target. The Ken is very tanky, so I'm not so worried about the Ken's damage, I think. Although he is doing decent damage. I would say in general, try and pick whether Ken or Nana is easier to kill and then kill that one first. So in this one, I'm going after Nana here, because I think they kind of are using like crit rate Kens and not crit damage Kens. Oh, I forgot to say the first thing that I did. So this is our first attack. I went in immediately. I thought they'd be using these defenses, so I was ready for it. At the very beginning of this fight, you saw that I hit Ken first. I saw that he gained attack bar. I immediately called out to my guildies that they were Nemesis Kens, because that's going to mess up some of the cleaves that we were using against this team. So hopefully we didn't lose too many attacks to the... like this is actually Nemesis Nana and Nemesis Ken. Hopefully we didn't lose too many attacks trying to cleave these, because we did call it out quickly that they were running these. And I actually think throughout the finals here, Apocalypse does change their rune builds, or at least some of their players change runes in between the times that they place the defenses. So you can hit the same person's defense twice and it might not be built the same way. Which, kudos to them. I personally didn't do anything like that because I only had one defense, because my runes and monsters are terrible compared to my guildies. So I got to focus everything on offense and have my one little defense built that didn't get attacked until the very end of the siege. And I think it got attacked like as a joke. So I did get a defense win, but I'm not actually seriously counting it. All right, so that one we win. Their lineup is Nana Ken Savannah. They've got some Molong Savannahs to fill when they run out of the Nanas, and they have Twins for 4-star. So this is just one of my standard teams for Molong Savannah stuff. I have a Tessarian on water damage reduction to tank the Molong. I have a Lulu on wind reduction to help me tank the Savannah and, you know, heal. And then I just kind of picked my favorite wind monster. In this case, I picked my Tyrannus here so that I could revive and stuff. And I remember this fight being kind of a bit dicey. So I land the defense break, but he violent procs out of the defense break and cleanses the Savannah. So that's not great for me. A lot of the time when I fight Molly defenses, I do end up killing Molly first because it just seems like it's easier sometimes when you're like putting your Oblivion on Molly and stuff. But yeah, this was a bit of a rough start because we missed our combo turn 1. We didn't get our defense break Oblivion into the Druid skill 2 because we didn't get a defense break. And then, but we just have to kind of survive long enough so that we can recover. So that should be our goal. Looks like maybe it's the Molong on destroy. There's only destroyed HP on my fire monster, so I kind of assume the Molong's on destroy. Oh, it could be the Molly. Probably more likely the Molly. I don't remember. I'm sure I could rewind and look, but whatever. Oh, but yeah, this fight has gone on much longer than I like it to. I usually like to have this decided within the first few rounds. Like, you know, turn 1, you can defense break an Oblivion into Druid skill 2, kill the Savannah, and you win. So this one kind of went sideways. But now we have an opportunity because we just defense broke an Oblivion to the Molly right after it used its shield, so there's not going to be any cleanse. There's not a violent proc either, which means that we get to have a couple hits on that defense break, and there goes the Molly. So we did use our revive in this one, but we never actually lost a monster, so never actually had to revive. Nice. Now we're just going to kill off that Savannah because Savannah's scary. And Molong is not scary when we have our whole team. So yeah, I still use this offense. I think it's fine. This one was kind of one of the worst examples to show for how this offense usually goes. But we still won in the end, so that's what you like to see, right? Things don't go according to plan at the beginning and you still win in the end. That makes a good team, I think. Up next, we have an Iris version of one of these defenses. I see Iris, so I bring my Elucia. That's just kind of always going to happen. If you put an Iris on defense, I'm going to bring an Elucia, and I'm just going to put it to sleep. I guess if you like used a Wusa with your Iris, I wouldn't be able to do that, but maybe I'd still find a way. Who knows? So yeah, we're controlling the Iris here, and we're just going to kill the Nigong. Because my logic is I have a tank for his Molong, so I don't have to worry about the Molong first. I can worry about the Nigong first. Because we should be able to tank his Molong. That's what we brought a tank for, right? We've got our Tisarian with like minus 50% fire damage between his passive and his artifact. I think I would have put light damage reduction on my Lulu and my Elucia for this, I think. So they're probably on light damage reduction, although, to be honest, I don't have good light damage reduction artifacts, because I don't think I pay as much attention to light damage reduction as I do the other elements, because it's less often useful. But I should probably try to find some better stuff. You know, I only have like one roll, so like 12% reduction as opposed to the triple rolls I have for most things. All right, we get the Oblivion on Iris, which, you know, doesn't matter because we're not going... Well, it does stop the healing, but usually, like, if you get an Oblivion on Iris, sometimes you can get your immunity up with your Lulu, and then Iris can't strip you, and it's fun to laugh at her. But not happening here. Just another case of Iris getting somewhat hard countered by Elucia. Because like my Elucia is going to violent proc eventually. Iris is never on violent because every Iris is built on despair runes. So Elucia is eventually going to just outperform Iris. And then we're tanking their main source of damage, so it works out pretty well. Tractor Luluwindy's back again versus the Twins. We talked about this in the Malicious video, but essentially try not to buff unless you have to, or in that case I buffed because the Martina was stunned and I didn't want the Shina to stun me. So I felt okay buffing, but even that might have been a mistake because now there's 2-turn immunity over there. So clearly I was thinking too short term because I wasn't thinking that, oh hey, the Triana's just gonna wake that, gonna, you know, cleanse the Martina and it's gonna steal my buffs. But either way, you can usually afford to get a couple buffs stolen. It's just like if you have a really tanky Martina, or if the Triana just violent procs like crazy and gets a whole bunch of heals off and the fight drags on, the longer the fight goes, the worse off you are. Because eventually either the Martina is going to steal enough buffs to stack up and do a lot more damage, or they're eventually going to find a window to attack your Lulu, which can be a big problem if the Triana is on damage. In this siege, they had all sorts of rune builds for this defense, as you know, every guild usually does that runs this. And they were also changing runes, I believe, so you could not trust the same defense to be built the same way if you went in the next time it was placed. Which is why I love Tractor Luluwindy, because Tractor Luluwindy does well against every variation of this defense. It doesn't always win. It can lose against, like, you know, really high damage YOLO Trianas if you ignore them for too long and they kill your Lulu. But for the most part, Tractor Luluwindy, I think, is the best thing that I have against a Twins defense when you don't have any information on how the Twins defense is built prior. Because if you do have information, then sometimes you can just Lucian them, or you can, you know, Garo Rauk Vertihile them, or something. But I don't like relying on information because people are allowed to change their runes in between hits, so much prefer a single answer to all Twins builds. And like I said earlier, when I showed my Tractor Luluwindy runes, those should be the runes that were on my Lulu. Maybe slightly different. I have moved some runes around since the tournament, but I do have a max resistance Lulu here. For this particular match, I was running 2 different Lulu sets. So max resistance versus Twins, and not max resistance versus Nana. And now I'm really just filling time because I don't have anything else to say. So I'm repeating things I've already said. How you doing, YouTube? Hope you're having a good one. Nice revenge kill. Good job, Windy. Up next, we're back to Nana, Ken, Savannah. We're using the exact same thing. We get the quick revenge on Ken, turn 1 there. And it looks like that did a decent amount of damage, so this Ken might be kind of damagey. We got the revenge on both of them, so we can compare damage. They both took about the same amount of damage from our Windy, which I assume means that Ken is squishier because we probably glanced on him because he's fire. So we're going in after the Ken here. And I also probably kind of learn as I play these that... see, there I even went for the stun on the Savannah. Because I'm greedy. I don't want to only punch something twice. I want to punch something 3 times and get all my value. Nice revenge on the Ken there. All right, this looks a little bit scary. Well, maybe not, because I do have the big heal. One of the things I do like about killing Nana first is that, like, if you kill Ken but Nana's still alive, then there's still a chance to lose because Nana can still gain stacks. So here I'm killing Ken because it seems easier, and I'm also keeping a slow debuff on the Savannah to reduce the Savannah damage. And again, for the tractor, I do use the artifacts with wind reduction on my tractor that I posted on the slide for this matchup. And then I use the one that's like all additional damage against the twins. All right, another one of those handled. What do we got next? Another twins. If I had thought about how the Nana Savannah stuff and the twins are both countered by Tractor Lulu Windy before the finals, maybe I would have tried to get my guild to run twins. I think we were thinking that twins is a really good defense. Not in that, you know, anything new has changed with twins, but rather that everything else got nerfed when they nerfed like Fuki and friends. So we did think that twins was a strong defense for this tournament. We just felt like it wouldn't burn any of the counters for our other defenses. But, you know, that was apparently wrong because Tractor Lulu Windy just counters everything. I think my guildies didn't really use Tractor Lulu Windy into twins prior to this tournament. So it wasn't necessarily on people's radar. But in Season 7, I guess the Twins defense is improved because now you have a 33% defense leader on your Triana. So you can use defense leader Twins now. That could help against some of the counters. I don't think it changes much for this particular counter, though. Which is sad for, you know, for Siege YouTube viewers everywhere, because Tractor Lulu Windy is still going to be the best offense against all the stuff that got buffed in the last balance patch. And I've apparently pressed auto because I see my tractor provoking. Alrighty. Up next, we got another Molong Savannah. I'm going in with the Wusa Rika Ganymede. You've probably seen this one before. I'm going to reset the cleanser there. Hit him with a skill 2. Get a stun on that Molly so it doesn't get its cleanse back as fast. And also, I know that after I skill 3 with my Rika, I'm going to refresh my Rika, so I'm not wasting a skill 2 or anything. Alright, there's our skill 3. Get some slow debuffs out. Vent the Rika. Get some more. Nice stuns. Get our shield and immunity back. I think the Molly's got to be close to having cleanse again soon. But I think we'll get to reset it again before that happens. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I miscounted. Apparently I wasn't miscounting on the actual day, though. I was on top of it. Man, the Wusa buff made this offense, like, so much better. Not that this offense needed help, but, like, it used to be you could find yourself in a situation where you're 3 versus 1 against a Molly, and it takes you, like, 20 minutes to actually kill the Molly. But with the Wusa skill 2 damage now, that's just not a thing that happens anymore. Alright. That was a win that didn't involve a Lulu or a Windy, so that's important. We need at least 2 of those, and here's the second one. Because I have 8 Lulus built, so I need to always find at least 2 offenses that don't include a Lulu. So there's the last fight and this fight. So in this one, I've already used my Wusa. I don't have an Amelia, so I'm using Riley as a buffer for my Bulwark Molong team. We do have Vampire Molong. Vampire Molong, I still believe, is much better on offense. I don't think people really disagree with that, though. The only issue is that people have had to build their Molongs for defense lately, so they weren't allowed to build him on Vampire, because Vampire Molong for defense is terrible. But for offense, Vampire Molong is fantastic. I'm enjoying Riley in this team. As somebody who doesn't own a Amelia, Riley is kind of filling that void in my life. The Amelia-shaped hole in my siege offense. I plan to keep using this offense in the future. Up next, wouldn't you know it, Tractor Lulu Windy. We are going to see it 5 times because I have 5 of them. So this Ken's tankier than the last one was. This Nana seems kind of tanky as well. Maybe this defense is built more to counter cleave offenses and with less damage. Or maybe that's something that I shouldn't be assuming after just one hit on the enemy. Maybe I just like triple glance the Ken or something. Now he seems to be dying. Alright, we cleanse the branding off of our Windy there. Killing Ken first. Ken can be pretty annoying when he starts proccing. He does a lot of damage. Lots of damage, lots of, multi-hits and stuff. Attack bar absorption. He's got a lot going on. And he's a threat. Well, I guess I said lots of damage. But like, per my previous video, I feel like you always need a threat with your Nana Savannah team. And the threat can either be like a Ken, who's a threat on his own, or like an attack buff from a Joe Gun, which makes your Savannah untankable. Or, not untankable, but much harder to tank. Not something you want to tank with Arena, an attack buff Savannah. Still might tank it with a Tractor, though. Alright, there's that Tractor skill 2. If I hadn't skill 2'd, he would have been able to violent proc on my Lulu there. But we did land that provoke on the Savannah to keep the damage away from our Lulu, while our Lulu was defense broken. Which that's pretty much where you'll see me use provoke on my Tractor, is in this fight, if my Lulu's defense broken and the Savannah's moving before my Lulu is, then I'm going to consider provoking to keep the damage off of my defense broken Lulu. And also, you should always have a cleanse available on your Lulu. Always, always, always. Unless, like, you can put up immunity, and then their defense breakers are moving before their stripper, kind of thing. So maybe not always. Often. Up next, we got another one. It would seem I'm out of Tractor Lulu Windy. So we have, if you can't tell, this is a double will Leo. This is full tank Leo, HP, HP, HP. I don't think I have these runes anymore, so I can't show them to you. But he's just triple HP, double will shield, as tanky as I can possibly get him on fire and wind reduction, because I don't want my Leo to just die. And then all I have to do is kind of bruiser him down with Tessarian Lulu, which is, the absolute best way to bruiser anything is Tessarian Lulu. They're very, very good. Highly recommend using Tessarian Lulu in your siege battles if you don't already. Alright, we didn't get attack broken, that's nice. So Ken's dead because we got the Oblivion on the Nana and finished him off there. We still have Leo passive, so the Savannah's not going to be doing that much damage, hopefully. Not so much that our Lulu can't tank. Our Lulu would be on 22% wind reduction because that's the best I have. And now we just need to, I wonder if let's see if I Oblivion the Nana and then, yeah, so we're not just going to kill the Savannah twice, we're going to try and Oblivion the Nana. Alright, don't proc. Oh, it procced. No! Now what do we do? Now we just kill the Savannah twice. We're done messing around. Now we're getting resisted. Now he's proccing on my defense broken Lulu. If he had double procced, that could have been problems. Alright, no problems. We got through it. And I think this is our 10th attack. So that is our season 6 Siege tournament, everybody. 10-0 versus Apocalypse in the finals. Like I said, that one defense win that I got, I think was kind of a joke that they gave me after the siege ended, and I don't think it was a real thing. My defense didn't really get used. And I also want to say that I'm pretty sure that my guild won this tournament off the strength of our defenses. We had really strong defenses. That's why you don't see me having any, because my guild's units or rooms and monsters are better than mine. We had a whole bunch of Nana Savannah stuff with Joe Guns and Kens and Light and Dark monsters. Our 4 stars were Ayunu, Lulu, Kinky, and Ayunu, Molly, Amarna. And we just kind of out-defensed people, I think. That's my take. Let me know if you disagree, and hope you enjoyed the videos. See you next time.